Alright, so the new WordPress directory is done uploading. As you can see, I'm here at my public HTML and testy is right here. So we're just going to go ahead and go into that and find this file right here, wp-sample-config. This is the file that tells WordPress about the name of the database user, and the password for it, and then also some security things that we need to set. So go ahead and rename the file to wp-config. Just get rid of the dash sample at the end. And then open it up. A lot of people don't think to do this, but you can go into your preferences, and of course you want to always set your default editor to be Text Wrangler. And then this option right here, double click opens file in external editor. This thing will save you a lot of headaches because it's not set to this by default, and so when you go to a file, you double click it, you think that's going to open it, but instead what it does is downloads it. And so that gets really frustrating because you get inundated with all these downloaded files that you really didn't want. So for your own sanity, go to preferences and check double click opens file in external editor. It's over here in the browser tag. Anyway, so open up wp-config. So these are the lines that we're concerning ourselves with here. Database underscore name underscore here. You can probably guess that this is where you're going to put your database name. If you remember back, I made it testy. Oh, it's not just testy, it is your domain admin username. Mine happens to be Zerg Klaus. I lucked out and got a string of letters that can be said as a thing. I have like 3 other domains, and some of them they have lots of U's and Q's and X's and stuff, and I have to look it up every time. MySQL database username, I happen to make it the same thing, so I'll just copy paste, less room for error. And then password here. I forgot that you had to do this part. When I just had to delete the last draft of this video because I realized that I'd used my normal high security password and I would have to type it in here, so I'd go back and change it. MySQL database host name, you don't need to change that. You don't need to change the character set because we are not needing to do that. You don't need to change anything else from these lines. So that's the first part. We've set the database name, the database username, and the password that it was going to use. So the next thing comes in right here. The auth key, secure auth key, all this stuff in between lines 45 and 52. Post your unique phrase. You don't need to make anything up. It has this, WordPress has this handy link that you just copy and put into your address bar. What this is unique keys that the database and what your WordPress uses to create an encryption. I don't know how it works. I'm not a cryptographer. Maybe you can talk to someone who's a computer scientist and they can explain it to you, or you can Google it. That's always a good idea. So just select everything. Just select all, and then copy it. I'm going to paste it right in. There we go. And that is all we needed to do. So there we go. WordPress now has the instructions it needs to find the database where it's going to create a whole bunch of tables, and then the username and password to actually access it. So we're done with that file. The last thing that we need to do is activate WordPress. It's not WP activate. If you look over in the WP admin folder, then you'll see that there is a file called install.php. We're not going to open it here from CyberDuck. That won't allow us to actually do anything. What you need to do is navigate to this through your browser, and then when the browser opens it up, it's going to run this install script, and that'll allow us to set our username and password and everything else. So go ahead and open a new tab, type in your domain, and then the directory that you created. Mine was called testy. And then, since we're going to install, we see that it's in the folder wp-admin slash install has two L's .php, and we'll go. So there we go. Now we're just gonna put in user information. Site title is just testy. Username, I usually use Tom Delver for stuff. Password. Really, when I used that in the other one, it said it was great. Wow. WordPress has really, really high standards for what it considers a good password, but I'm deleting this anyway, so I don't really care. You should make it strong, though, and write it down. For God's sake, write down your passwords. So this will send me the information. Allow search engines to index this site. You probably should uncheck this because these are just test sites, and you don't want this in the Google index. So we'll go ahead and install WordPress. So let's go ahead and log in. And success! We now have a new, fully functioning, highly operative, new installation of WordPress, and we did it all without the need for going into the back end. We did it all on our own because we're super awesome elite hackers like that. Right. If you have any questions, you can always refer to the text walkthrough that we've created, or go to the WordPress's install guide. It's kind of confusing, but you should definitely get experience in reading the official documentation. Anyway, hope this was helpful, and we'll see you for the next video.